Welcome to another part in our Back to Basics series where I teach you the basics of your home that you were never taught. This is part 2 of how to keep up your kitchen. In this part, I'll teach you the most important component to your kitchen, and that is food storage. Like I always tell you, you're running your home like a business. So that means you're running your kitchen like a restaurant. And in your kitchen, food is capital. Every spoiled food is a direct financial loss. I'm going to teach you how to avoid those losses. I'm going to break this up into 5 sections. I'll try to be quick, but we do have a lot of information to cover. We have a quick how-to guide, first in, first out, restaging, containers and organizers, and then finally prepping ahead. I'm just going to talk about the produce we use most often in our house. And then if I don't cover a certain food, you can always Google like how to properly store XYZ for maximum shelf life, and it'll give you exactly what you need to do. But we'll start with lettuce and cucumbers. Both excrete moisture after you've processed them. So what you're going to do is you're going to wash and totally dry them, and then you're going to store them wrapped tight in a paper towel, and you're going to place them in a Ziploc bag with no extra air. And then when your paper towel gets too moist, just replace it with a dry one. For asparagus, I just snap the bottoms of the stalks. The stalks will kind of show you where they want to be snapped off. So you'll just bend them, snap them, and then stick them in a cup of water. That's it. For carrots, just store them in water. I promise you, your carrots will never be crisper. For broccoli, peppers, those things, I just rinse them and then I leave them in one of my shelf organizers. I don't do anything else to them. Tomatoes, you're going to leave on your counter unless you cut them. For fruits, I go ahead and process them and then I just store them in my glass containers. I don't wash any of my berries though until we eat them. I just find they stay fresher that way. For grapes, I'll wash them and then I'll just store them in one of my shelf containers like the peppers or the broccoli. And you don't need to spend an arm and a leg to buy organizers. I use these glass containers and I have just bought 1 pack of them. That's it. It comes with this many, and that's kind of how I go about it. I just buy a package of this, a package of that, and it gets me by. I don't overbuy organizers. Now let's talk first in, first out. I'm sure that's a phrase everyone's familiar with, but when you're running your restaurant, i.e. your kitchen, you need to prioritize the oldest food first. So you're always going to make sure you're bringing the oldest food to the front. It's what you're going to eat before anything else. This helps control food spoilage. Next, let's talk containers and organizers. You'll notice I use the same containers and organizers all the time. So I've got my Snap and Lock glass containers. They hold up really well in the dishwasher and they keep your fridge looking very uniform. You can see everything that's inside there. I love my shelf drawers for the right angles in order to utilize the most space, and it's the most efficient way to organize. I love my Lazy Susans for sauces. You can see everything and you don't have that problem where something gets knocked to the back corner of the fridge and you forget about it, and it makes keeping your fridge really clean. So on the weekly 10, I have wiped down the shelves, and it's really easy to do when you utilize those kinds of organizers. I also use my glass containers for leftovers. I had someone ask me recently, like, where are your leftovers? They're there. I just repackage them when I bring them home, and I move them from the container that I got at the restaurant into one of my glass containers. It's all about uniformity. It's all about restaging, and that's the next thing we'll talk about. I know a lot of my followers can vouch for this one. This is an amazing technique to use if you find that people aren't eating up the leftovers very easily. And restaging just means you're going to take an item, you're going to move it to a different shelf, you're going to turn it, you're going to put it in a new container, just something to make it look fresh and new. Finally, let's talk about prepping ahead. It takes me a couple hours to prep everything when I get it home from the store. That's a lot of time. You want to make sure you're getting the biggest bang for your buck. Once you've already got the kitchen dirty, you're already motivated to get it done, you've already set aside time to do it, that's when you need to do it. So when I buy a package of chicken, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to slice it, pound it down, make my cutlets. I'm going to cook some ahead of time and freeze it. I'm going to cube some. I'm going to prepare any dips that need made. I'm going to make a chicken salad or an egg salad. I'm going to go ahead and pack some lunches. Anything I can do ahead of time, I will do, because you're far less likely to do anything throughout the week.